It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
And welcome back to another Uncorking. This time it is a rye. And Sarah, what is this rye?
This is Old Forester Rye. So this is the first new grain recipe released by Old Forester in 150 years.
Almost. They say almost.
Almost
not
150
Not
years.
quite. Let's get
But
technical.
who's counting?
I'm not counting. I can't count that high. All right, so new Old Forester mash bill as far as their rye, and from what we've heard, they actually have had this since like 1940.
Right, they acquired it in 1940. I'm not sure why they've been sleeping on it until now, but whatever. I mean, rye is having an upswing right now, but
Yeah.
it is 65% rye, 20% malted barley, and 15% corn. And it's said that high malted barley content allows for this like floral, something happens with the enzymes. I don't know, science.
Science happens.
And there's some like floral that comes through because of that. So we'll see.
An untwisting.
Oh, and untwisting. We haven't had an untwisting in a while.
An unscrewing.
Well, I'm glad you're doing it. I would need one of those old lady kitchen grabbing things.
I almost did.
And I have some of those.
So let me pour this for you in our new Glencairn.
Oh, look at that. Is that an It's Bourbon Night Glencairn?
I believe it is.
I think it is. We'll tell them where they can get it, Chad.
Well, of course, these are available at whiskeyambitions.com along with our other glassware such as rocks glasses and apparel. So
Lovely. I would just like to point out.
I didn't give you enough.
Thank you. You're such a gentleman. Yeah. I would just like to point out that this only confirm more proof towards my theory that all rye bottles, for the most part, like 90% of them, have green incorporated.
I would say it's higher than 90.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a few, like Jamesy Pepper Rye, does not have any green on the bottle. It's really weird. I would like to know why that is. So if you know, put it in the comments.
Of course, we've never Googled it, so.
I would like to find out organically, Chad.
All right, there you go.
All right,
so. Well, that is different.
It is different.
That is different.
And it is floral for rye, but it's also like nice and soft. Yeah, 100 proof. I mean, I think it seems a little softer than that on the nose.
Yeah. Wait, so 65% rye. So, this is higher than like our beloved Pikesville rye or some other, barely legal ryes is what we call them, because it has to be at least 51% rye in the mash bill to be considered
legal. I like that.
a rye. But you're also not getting what I think a lot of people have to kind of get used to in like those 95% ryes, 100% ryes.
Yeah. I almost get, this is like oddly specific. I get that floral. I don't know if I would call it rose petal. It's a specific flower that I'm not able to put my finger on right now. But I also get like this is strange, but like strawberries and cream.
Oh, okay. I'm getting some apple.
I definitely think there's fruit and there's floral.
Yeah.
For me, there's like more of a berry note popping out, but
berry, maybe a
it also
little
have
bit
like
of a banana.
A crisp element to it though, where I can see like that apple. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's light. Again,
it is, yeah.
Lighter than I would have expected for 100, but
for sure.
On the nose, but let's see how it tastes.
Okay.
I retract my previous statement. That's hot. I think it's the 65% rye.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting a definite sharp crispness.
It's very crisp
on the back end, but the initial kind of like palate was pretty smooth.
I would like to point out something else to you, Chad.
What's that?
Notice their non-American way of spelling whiskey on the label.
Yeah, they've always done that. It's also like that on Maker's Mark. It's just
you're right. I never noticed that before.
Just kind of it's their way to call tribute back to their Scottish ancestors.
Oh,
whiskey
I see.
Without an E.
Without an E.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They've always.
How do you like your whiskey, with or without an E?
I like it with an E personally.
That's what next time someone says, "How do you want your whiskey?" Say, "No E, please." What if you want it neat?
With an E.
It is lighter the second time around. Like that first wave was like.
It's sharp.
It's sharp.
It is
sharp.
sharp.
For sure. You know what? I find this enjoyable. And I get really excited when I find Old Forester products that I like because I'm very like divided on their stuff. It's either love it or, and I hate to say hate it, but love it or would not prefer it.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't hate anything. Well, there's a few things, but we won't get into that.
That's not what we're here for.
It's not what we're here for. That's another story for another day. But I do believe, and I know this is early and we haven't gotten to that recommend section yet, but I do believe that I might be able to add this to the likes column.
There you go. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on the whole back and forth on some Old Forester products. Of course, 1920 on the bourbon side being our favorite, oftentimes outshining even the birthday bourbon from Old Forester. Actually, more times than not, honestly. But yeah, to find a new mash bill in the Old Forester line.
That's really affordable.
Is exciting, yeah. So let's talk about this spice. Let's drill down. What type of kind of spice is this really?
I will say it builds like a spicy food when you eat it. Do you know what I mean? Like the longer we sit here, I'm getting the Kentucky hug, but it's also like the spice that's settled at the back of my tongue, and it's growing. Like I wouldn't call it cinnamon. I think it's hotter than that, but it's not like a chili.
Well, it has. I think cinnamon kind of. I think it dulls down to a cinnamon in the finish.
It does.
It's like a definitely. I think like a black pepper is in
I think that's a good. Yeah, it's like a savory. It's not so much like baking spices as it is more of like just a really savory warmth. And maybe that would be like a dash of red pepper flakes like mixed in with something where at first you don't really notice it, but then as you continue to eat, it's like, oh, this is how this has a little bit of heat to it.
I'm still getting that apple. Maybe it's apple. Maybe it's more apple peel. More so on the finish than anything. I think when the finish starts to die down, and it is I would call it a medium to medium long finish. When it starts to kind of die down, I get that apple peel and cinnamon after it's again, kind of crushed.
I agree with you more on the apple on the flavor side. I still I got the crispness on the nose, which I think is carrying through, but I said berry on the nose. I said like the strawberries and cream. I totally don't get that on.
You're not getting that
on the flavor side.
Right,
so I could see the apple more here, and I kind of like this idea of like a warm cinnamon apple because I do feel like it's not overly appley, but it's got, I don't know. I think like a cinnamon apple, like hot sautéed, is like kind of sweet, savory.
Yeah.
Over like a pork chop. That sounds good. Like apple chutney over a pork chop, but
Applesauce.
You don't put applesauce on a pork chop.
Pork chop and applesauce. That's like from Brady Bunch or something. It's good. It's not my favorite rye.
Okay.
And I'm not just talking about the barely legal ryes. I'm talking about, we've had some 95% ryes that have had, some age to them, like a 10-year or so forth. Some Whistle Pig products and so forth that I've kind of liked a little bit more than this. But we're talking a huge price difference.
Huge for 100 proof rye that's not just 51% rye. That's like hanging out there in the middle, doing something kind of cool with that high malted barley content to be with $22.
$22, okay. Yeah, $22. So under 25, and rye is, I don't know if many people know this, but rye is a more expensive grain.
Yeah.
So there is more price that went into this product. Yeah, I think I would put this, somewhere in my bourbon night evening. Probably not first, probably not last.
No, yeah,
somewhere in the middle when you're kind of wanting to change things up. You
mean spice things up?
I didn't. No, but I like it. I'll throw it in there. This is one that you definitely, if you have it in your collection, when someone comes over, you'd be like, oh, have you tried the new Old Forester Rye? The new old? Yeah.
The new old.
The new Old Forester Rye. It's new, but it's old.
Rye is the new Old Forester.
I don't know. Well, let's talk about recommend or not.
Oh, I 100% recommend this.
Okay.
Finding something from Old Forester that I really enjoy is like awesome for me. I love when that happens. So that, along with the price and the fact that it's going to be widely available, is...
Okay, I mean, I also give it a recommend. It's not as enthusiastic as yours. It is nice, as you said, to find something from Old Forester that we can put in the light column, but just based on the overall flavors, and of course, it is a great value. $23, 100 proof, 65% rye, I think is actually a very good value. So that I applaud. Flavor-wise, I would put it more middle of the pack. I'm not rushing to write home about it. Dear Mom, today
I tried Old Forester Rye.
It's good, and I give it the recommend, and I think you should pick it up and try it. But I'm not over the moon about it.
I mean, I'm not. It hasn't changed my world or anything.
Yeah.
But
it's
again,
not blowing your hair back.
Something that's 100 proof and is a good quality rye for $22 to me is like, that's cool.
It's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Knob Creek Rye, but it's almost 30, so.
There you go. Yeah. Well, that will do it for us. We already told you about whiskeyambitions.com, but again, that's where you can find our new Glencairn glasses now shipping, rocks glasses and t-shirts as well. We also have Patreon. Tell them about that.
Yep, patreon.com/itsbourbonnight. You can become a patron for as little as $1 and join our community and conversation.
Boom. And then we also have our Amazon influencer shop. That's amazon.com/shop/itsbourbonnight. Find things that we use in our bourbon night.
And then lastly, you can follow us on all the social media channels at It's Bourbon Night.
Boom City. All right, cool. Well, thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Chad.
Okay. And until next time, drink more bourbon or rye out of this glass. And if you heard a dog whining in the background, congratulations, you have good hearing, and we are dog sitting today.
Because we're good friends. All right, you want to go outside? Be a good girl. It's okay.